bright wonderful service, very worshipful service, worshipful service, my dear brethren, sisters, sons and daughters of the Masonic fraternity, friends of Freemasonry. To be given the task of introducing a guest of honor and speaker is something which one must familiarize himself with the person to be introduced. In this moment, I have been tasked to introduce one who I can call a double brother, one who has dedicated his life to the service of humanity and mankind. Inspired by the life of his late father, who was a Mason, he joined the Order of Tivoli. As a Tivoli, he has exemplified the Masonic motto of "No Tivoli shall fail as a citizen, as a leader, and as a mother." In his active Tivoli days, he served as the master counselor of his chapter, after which he was also a division master counselor. His involvement in the Tivoli movement does not stop from there. He continued to serve as an adult advisor. Among the awards he was granted or honored was the degree of Chevalier, the Legion of Honor, and the Grand Cross. As a Mason, he was initiated into our ancient craft 45 years ago in 1979. He has continuously served the Masonic fraternity as he rose from the ranks. In the Grand Lodge, prior to his assumption to office as Grand Master, he chaired the Committee on Membership Development. Aside from that, he once served as a district inspector, equivalent to that of a district deputy grand master in our grand jurisdiction. He has also served as Grand Orator. With those offices he held, it is very evident that he came in well equipped with the awesome responsibilities of the Grand Master's office. In his professional career, he spent over 32 years in military service and holds the rank of colonel. His tour of duty in the past 32 years includes that of his deployment in Iraq. This shows that our guest of honor and speaker is battle tested. In his tenure as Grand Master of our Mother Grand Lodge, he has adopted the Masonic theme sharing the Masonic light. This is in consonance with what our most worshipful grandmothers, the grandmothers of the Philippines, the daughter grandmothers of the grandmothers of California. This thing has been in action, put into practice 40 years ago in 1984, when our most senior grandmaster, most worshipful Reynaldo S. Puno, adopted the Masonic theme of the year in 1994, making it the best theme as far as governance and sharing of Masonic light is concerned. Most worshipful Reynaldo S. Puno adopted the Masonic theme of more light in Masonry, more light from Masons. 10 years thereafter, in 1994, another past grandmaster, most worshipful Pablo C. Cook Jr., adopted sharing the Masonic light as the theme of that year. To give us more light and to fire up the 107th annual Grand Communication, I cherish this occasion in presenting to you our guests of honor and speaker, the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of California, the most worshipful G. John Metroka.
And I saying to you how truly humbled and honored I am to stand before you today. I think we as Masons often are overwhelmed by the recognition that comes with us and feel we don't really deserve it. But on behalf of my brethren in California, I will do my best. Most worshipful Grandmaster, esteemed brethren, ladies and friends, thank you for inviting me to your 2024 annual communication and for this opportunity to speak with you today. I bring you warm greetings from the Masons of California, many of whom are with us here today. How many California members do we have here? Look at all those hands. Thank you, brethren, for raising your hands. I think it just goes to show you that we share more than just our beginnings. We share members, we share friendships, we share gratitude. And I am proud that so many of the members of our lodges in California also belong to lodges in the Republic of the Philippines. We have long cherished this relationship with the most worshipful Grand Lodge of free and accepted Masons of the Philippines. It began in the early 20th century, and of course your three oldest lodges were originally chartered from the Grand Lodge of California. Manila, Mount Lebanon, number 1, Cavite, number 2, and St. John's, Regular, number 3. And I will tell you, in my 2 visits to the Philippines for annual communication this year and last, the officers and brethren of those 3 lodges have greeted us warmly, treated us to a meal and some wonderful fellowship. And I will tell you, brethren, we are sincerely grateful to you for that. We continue to strengthen our bonds, and we pray that this friendship will always continue. Freemasonry is a wonderful institution and one which benefits all good people of the world. Surely each of us know this to be true. Our world desperately needs more men who are dedicated to the tenets of brotherly love, relief, and truth, who continually strive to improve themselves and who can be relied upon to help those in need. These are among the many values which have sustained our craft for hundreds of years and which continue to attract good people to it all over the world. I've been blessed to travel in the world of Freemasonry, not just as Grand Master, but also in other offices serving our Grand Lodge. And I constantly marvel at the scope of our ancient craft. Many Masons believe our fraternity doesn't change and never will. And while I believe the essential elements of our beloved institution have remained consistent through the centuries of its existence, I also believe that the way we employ and practice its craft is ever-changing and must continue to do so to remain relevant and useful to humanity and the society in which it exists. To see the truth of this statement, we must only compare the variety of rituals we use and the seemingly endless numbers of traditions we sustain in Freemasonry around the world. In short, there is a fundamental element which is common between us, but the way we express it is very different from one jurisdiction to the next. And over time, it will continue to grow and change and even become more different. Now, at the risk of causing a bit of shock and perhaps disbelief among you, I also acknowledge that there are women in Freemasonry. Heaven forbid. But there are, and they have existed for hundreds of years. Lest you think they are abhorrent and not regular in their practice of Freemasonry, they most often use the same rituals as we employ in our lodges, the same rituals used by traditional masculine Freemasonry. And they're as good to humanity in their practice and in their communities as we are. You probably wonder why I have pointed this out. Well, considering that approximately 50% of humanity is feminine, it shouldn't be surprising that something so good and timeless as our ancient craft would appeal to all good people. I am not proposing that we merge. I like my brand of Freemasonry, thank you very much. But as pointed out by the United Grand Lodge of England recently, it is less about our system of recognition and more about the good among us that is important. And while under our current systems, there isn't a way for us to recognize one another as Masons, we certainly can acknowledge the existence and the good that all Masons who practice a regular form of Freemasonry are giving to the world. In Masonry, we seek light in the form of greater knowledge and understanding. We do this because we know that the alternative is to return to the darkness which formerly pervaded the world. We understand that darkness is merely the absence of light, and that the smallest spark will keep the darkness at bay. Likewise, we seek to expand the basic goodness in humanity, because we understand that evil is simply the absence of good and the absence of love, and that evil cannot exist in the presence of goodness and love. The essential lessons of Freemasonry are found in the degrees of our craft lodges. These are certainly enhanced by the higher systems of higher degrees and our many other Masonic family organizations, though the heart and soul of our gentle craft is available without them, because it is contained in the degrees of our craft lodges. Today, I invite you to focus on the true essence of our beloved institution, to accept that we are all different from one another, and that although we may take slightly different paths, we are each working toward a common goal. The goal of a more peaceful, tolerant, and harmonious world in which to live and grow. Accept that we are imperfect beings and will make mistakes along the way. This is normal, unavoidable, in fact, and should be treated as a means of learning and improvement. Find balance in all you do. Don't become so deeply engaged in our fraternity that you lose sight of your obligations to your family and friends and to society. When you struggle and fail, keep moving forward on the path of good and right. All progress is good, and even if you take a step backward, there is hope to advance. Don't be too quick to dilute the focus of Freemasonry by allowing it to become primarily a social institution for you. There is an important place in our society of Masons for our more entertaining branches and orders, but they are nothing without the essential teachings of our gentle craft. Reinvigorate your search for knowledge and strive for peaceful coexistence with your fellows. Expand your tolerance of others, your understanding of their failings and weaknesses, and help them to overcome their mistakes as you hope they will do for you. Finally, if you believe what we have as Masons is special, worthy of respect and admiration of your fellow human beings, and essentially good for humanity, then I encourage you to share it with all good men who come your way. Freemasonry is truly a gift from the great architect of the universe, and I believe it is intended to be shared. Thank you all, my brethren, for your warm hospitality and for your gracious welcome.
Grandmasters. And so, through our Grand Secretary, we shall grant honorary past Grandmaster, most worshipful title to our guest of honor and speaker.
Edit number 368, conferring on most worshipful G-Shan Metroka, Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of California, the rank and title of Honorary Past Grand Master. Whereas, most Worshipful Metroka, Grand Master of the Most Worshipful God Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of California, has been well known for his affinity not only for the God Lodge of the Philippines, but also for our country, the Philippines, and the Filipino people. Whereas such affinity fortified the foundation of our God Lodge's continued close ties with our mother God Lodge, the Most Worshipful God Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of California. Whereas in his distinguished careers in the military, the private sector, and the judiciary, Most Worshipful Metroka incessantly displayed the discretion, virtue, and dignity of a worthy and exemplary Mason, thereby convincing the world of the goodness of our fraternal institution. Whereas, through his dedication and selfless service to our brotherhood, Most Worshipful Metroka continually serves as an exemplar, well worthy of emulation by all Masons whithersoever dispersed. Whereas, Most Worshipful Metroka agreed to grace our 107th annual communication with his presence and also be our guest of honor and speaker in such assembly. Whereas the past Grand Masters of the Most Worshipful God Lodge of the Philippines endorsed and recommended the granting of honorary past Grand Master upon Most Worshipful Metroka. Now therefore, I, Most Worshipful Dr. Damas Koipichi, Grand Master of Masons of the Most Worshipful God Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons in the Philippines, by virtue of the powers invested by the Constitution and in accordance with ancient Masonic usages, do hereby confer and award upon the Most Worshipful God Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of California, for which he shall henceforth be titled to the rank and address most worshipful among his brethren within and without this jurisdiction. Given under my hand and seal, the Most Worshipful God Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of the Philippines, this 22nd day of April 2024, the city of Manila, Philippines, signed, Most Worshipful Dr. Damas Koipichi, Grand Master, the Nino D. Angeles, past Grand Master, Grand Secretary.
Mother and child, which represents the Grand Lodge of California, our mother Grand Lodge, and the Grand Lodge of the I read the text it says, this humble token is most sincerely presented to Most Worshipful Brother Metroka, Grand Master, Grand Lodge of California, on the occasion of your distinguished presence as the guest of honor and speaker at the 107th annual communication of the Most Worshipful Grand Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of the Philippines as part of the Philippines, thereby adding immense value to that event. The Masons of the Philippines are deeply grateful in hearing your inspirational message, which we just heard, and are inspired by your exemplary leadership and generous support to Philippines. Given this 10th day of April 1624, signed Loyalty Grandmaster Quincy, Grandmaster, Attest Daniloti Amilis as Grandmaster, Grand Secretary.
For your generosity, your graciousness, and most worshipful past grandmasters, I'm overwhelmed by your recognition, and I truly appreciate the love we have between us. I don't really think that I'm the guy you think I am, but you had it right when you said that I truly value my brethren in the Philippines and the relationship we have with your grandma. I truly do. And the Philippine people. I love this country. I'm going to sit down now.